Here it comes from the famous Konig Wheel Studios. It's The Hype Is Right.
Introducing.
Today we are making a rap video. What's up, guys? My name is Trevor Jameson. My name is Jason Whitfield. We're at Whitfield Company, Whitfield Manufacturing.
We start modifying vehicles, there's a lot of things that come to mind.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Wheel Wednesday. I'm Scott from Konig.
What's up, guys? I'm Joe, the managing partner at Performance Auto Solutions.
All right, so the M2 is just right.
Too hype, no question. Too hype.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that this thing is underhyped.
I think the BMW M2 is just right.
It's kind of expensive still, but the truth is that car is really phenomenal. And even though it's small, it doesn't feel small in size and it takes on that M heritage. It's a really good car.
I haven't seen a whole lot about it, and I haven't heard a whole lot about it.
Seen a lot about it. I think that's a car for your girl when you're rolling like an R8 or a Huracan or something crazy like that, and you want to get her something that looks good when she rolls up to meet you and your boys for lunch or dinner.
It has a dual clutch transmission, I believe. It is turbocharged. It's a competition car, right? But it's a little chubby in appearance, so curb appeal is definitely diminished, but I think it's just right.
Really cool. It comes with 400 horsepower, 400 torque from the factory, and again, manual transmission, rear wheel drive. That just sounds like a lot of fun. So it's almost like, it's kind of what like the Supra, the new Supra should have been, or you know, at least what the Supra should have been given the option to be. So the Mark IV, I think it's an amazing car. I think it is a little overhyped.
So the Supra Mark IV, I think it's overhyped.
The Mark IV Supra to me is, I guess, just right.
Most underhyped car next to the MR2. There's guys go hand in hand, I don't even know.
So I have one on my channel that I rebuilt basically from the ground up, pulled it out of a field, and did a whole restoration. And man, I gotta tell you, it is hard to find parts for these things, and they are super expensive.
I think the 2JZ is a great engine. I think the car is way too much money. Overhyped for sure.
It's incredibly overpriced for, I guess, what you're getting. Like, you can get a 2JZ, you can make a really cool car, and the truth is the engine itself is really the magic to it.
It's the baddest platform, one of the two baddest platforms ever built. That engine is the baddest design any manufacturer has ever came up with, in my opinion. Most underhyped car next to the MR2. Even if it's hyped, no matter how much it's hyped, it can never be hyped enough.
Supra comes with a lot of nostalgic, and if you take that nostalgia and apply it forward, I just think the car is going to continue to appreciate in value. It's going to be one of those super cars that we look back at and really realize that we missed the boat when we could have bought them cheaper.
MK4, underhyped, even though it's super hyped.
For what they are, if you just were speaking of just, you know, numbers on paper, not talking about Fast and Furious, not talking about it being the legendary Mark IV Supra, you could go out and buy a better car for the money. And, you know, a newer car that has, you know, touchscreen and heated seats, you know, something like the BMW M2.
I think it's underhyped.
One of the top two most underhyped cars built.
I'm gonna say this car is underhyped. You don't see a whole lot about them.
I'm gonna say that the car is underhyped for what it is right now.
It is a mid-engine car, turbocharged application, of course, if you have an opportunity to get one. It looks cool. It's got flip-up headlights. It comes with manual transmission.
That car is the best platform for all types of racing, road racing, drag racing, drifting. You can do anything with that car. And if you know what these guys are doing on the East Coast and down south with the swaps, Unbelievable.
So you could get a base model in the United States that just comes NA, with the weaker transmission, and you could essentially get a really cheap engine swap from an importer and kind of almost do what the turbo one was over here from the factory, or what even people upgrade the turbo one in the United States with, which is a Gen 4 3S GT e-swap that comes with a good transmission, the wiring and all that stuff basically bolts right in, and it's a mid-engine sports car, so it's a really cool thing. So if you want like a little baby Lamborghini, I guess that's what you could almost call it.
The MR2 is a great car, and I'm gonna say, especially in that second gen, right before we got into the Spider, whatever that was supposed to be. But anyhow, MR2 is a great car, and they are starting to appreciate more now than ever. So if you can get your hands on an MR2, this is the time to get it.
If you can get one, get one. That's what I wear for Christmas. I wear MR2. So if you want to send me one, that would be perfect.
.2G DSM, I'm going to say that the car is underhyped.
2G DSM, just right, perfect.
This is an interesting one, and I think the 2G DSM is really underhyped.
Totally underhyped.
You can build that thing, the motor is bulletproof, looks are so-so. However, that thing is known for big power, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, however you want to build it.
I'm a big DSM fan, so I guess I'm slightly biased, but the DSM was one of those cars that if you could get a GSX, it came with an all-wheel drive turbo platform. The car was incredibly fast, could be made to be way faster.
They got really cheap for a while, and I think that kind of gave them cheap owners that didn't necessarily respect the platform and essentially what it could do to itself, because it was fast enough to break itself, which is known to just make a ton of power and just handle all the boost. It's cast iron, closed deck. Yeah, I think they're a little bit underhyped because they got a bad rap, but man, they have so much potential, and I think the 2G is a really iconic looking car.
I think an Eclipse, the 2G Eclipse, I mean, yes, it's fast and furious. If you're fortunate enough to even get like a Eagle Talon, like the all-wheel drive one, I think that thing is underhyped. Those things are cheap, people give up on them. Man, that is a high school dream car. You know what I mean? If you get an Eclipse, you get the stick wing, if it's a GSX. I guess the GST's had it too.
The fact of the matter is, this was the first attempt that we really got here in the States, except for the Galant VR4, that really encompassed what the Evo came to be before the Evo ever got here. So if you can find one before these values go up, get yourself one. It's gonna be hard to find because they are hacked to crap. You will never find a clean one anywhere.
I think it's just right.
C5, I think, is a little underhyped for what it is.
The C5 Corvette, too hype.
C5 Corvette, I'm gonna say that the car is underhyped.
That thing screams bald eagle. It's got flip-up headlights. If you're lucky enough to get a Z06, makes 403 horsepower, not too much, not too little. It's an LS. It's good in everything. Straight line, road racing, drag racing, drifting. I mean, the Texas guys really do it with that car.
I'm a big Corvette fan now. I recently rebuilt a C6 Z06 Corvette for Drift Week, where I drove it basically across the country, put about 4,000 miles on it with a set of Konig wheels, and drifted it all over everywhere.
That car is for midlife crisis guys. That car is for guys who are 5 foot and under. You cannot get in and out of that car. That car is a too hype car. I will probably buy one when I'm about 65 just to say I had one.
The values of these cars are dropping, and the fact of the matter is, this is a car that really was very cool. First off, it's a big improvement from the C4. C5s, they put the transmission in the rear to help improve the weight distribution. In addition to that, you get an LS1.
LS swapped from the factory. Tons of aftermarket support and parts. They are coming down in price, but I think they're underhyped in the consumer market. Nobody really pays attention to them as much anymore with all the hype of the new Corvettes. But I think in the drifting world, they're coming up to be about just right. People are realizing how great of a platform and how good of a value. Again, on Drift Week, we had over 8 Corvettes out of, I think, like a 20-some car field.
And the fact of the matter is, if you can find yourself a Z car, a Z06 in the C5, you're even going to find a car that's going to continue to appreciate. C5s are a great value, and I'm going to say that they're underhyped.
If you guys have not subscribed to their YouTube channel, you know, be sure to click the little button below. If you guys liked this video, be sure to like it, and probably put in the comments what cars you want to see in The Hype is Right. And be sure to check out the past episodes of some of their videos. I think it was really cool. I've been watching all of them, and it really kind of gives a cool insight of people's perspective in a kind of quick fun format. So again, appreciate Konig Wheels, and I guess this is Trevor signing out.